Hey guys, it's Chris and welcome back to The Sip. What do we have on the show today? Well, in the past you've seen my Sunfounder Pironman5 case, which turned out to be incredible for the Raspberry Pi 5. So much so that due to that video, Sunfounder sent me the new Pironman5 MAX case for, I guess, a thank you. I'm not paid, but they did send me this case. I just want to let you know that. And we're going to build it today. What is the difference between, I'm upside down, this case, Pironman5 MAX, and the Pironman5? It is now a smoked glass. It is in black, supposedly some countersunk screws, and it has dual NVMe slots. Now, because I want to really pimp this out, I went on the old jungle store. Number one, I stopped by Micro Center because I had a gift card, and I got a Raspberry Pi 4B and a Raspberry Pi 5. The 4B is for another project, but my Amazon order was some heat sinks. I ordered this, I thought they were more, aluminum heatsink kit. I'll link them in the description below. They're perfect for the Raspberry Pi 5. Little ASMR there. Perfect for the Raspberry Pi 5 because they come 1414 all the way down to 9.9, all the way down to 7x7x6 mil heat sinks. These are not heatsink tape, so we will be using the blue thermal tape on that. I did order some 20x20 pre-taped larger heat sinks. The Pironman5 case, if you haven't seen that in the past, is a really incredible case. RGB lighting, RGB board deck lighting. You can control it with software. I'm running Twister OS on this, and I do have Pi 5, one of the betas, on there right now. This is a brand new Raspberry Pi 5. I got the 8 gig, $80. It was $59, but you know, we gotta pay for everything the government does. So we're gonna lay this out so we can see what is in it, and we'll build it together. First off, just like every Sunfounder product, you get a super clear, colorized, step-by-step instruction manual. So first off, we're going to start by removing the contents, laying it out, and then we'll go through the steps. You start by opening. You have a foam pad, of course, to protect it, some acrylic. You get a cooler, a display screen, thermal pads and a battery, the power button, the assortment of screws, which we'll go over in a minute. They're clearly labeled. 2 RGB fans, the HDMI header board, the GPIO riser extension, the micro SD card slot adapter, the reset switch riser, and the crown jewel of this one, the dual PCI Express NVMe header. You also get a tool. This is a wrench. You'll get a screwdriver. You'll get another screwdriver, which is a little thicker. This is new in the Pironman5 MAX. This one is more girthy, and that's good because the original screwdriver was even thinner than this. That'll be that. We'll set that over to the side. You'll have your case with your final acrylic that does say Pironman5 in it. The case comes attached, which you need to separate into 2 pieces. But this is the whole kit layout. You're thinking, oh my God, that is a lot. But it's not. It might take you 45 minutes to build. We'll abridge through that in various steps through editing. And I just wanted to show you the basics of how this comes. There is some white silk screen you can see here for the, there is some silk screening for the screen. These screws are countersunk this time, at least on the case part. So as you can see, I've put a silicone mat down for ease of assortment of the screws and some dog hair. This is considered plate A, and the one with the silk screening in white of the parts is plate B. This one bag contains all of your screws and everything is labeled. And that's your screw kit for the basic assembly of everything. Now you're going to notice that everything is clearly labeled, and each step on your instruction manual is going to have how many screws you're going to need and which screws you're going to use. What you're going to want to do is orient your workpiece to the way it looks like on the instructions. It'll make your life easier. To start, we're going to need 3 M2.5 by 8 screws, or standoffs. Now you use the M2.5 by 4 screws. You're going to need 3 of those. Another plus is this screwdriver is magnetized, which will help hold your screws in place. They are countersunk, but they're not countersunk enough. So next step, we have to take the 2.5 by 5 standoff. We need 2 of those, and we need a 2.5 by 6. The fun of these cases, for me, is I just enjoy building them. It's like I always enjoyed building computers, building custom cases. And with the Raspberry Pi series little computers, it's actually a lot of fun because you have the enjoyment of building a custom case. The next one is M2.5 by 6. So you see you have plenty of screws here. Next step is your Raspberry Pi 5. And you will have to remove this header, install the micro SD card holder. Another great thing is these are vacuum lock bags, but the company, Sunfounder, does do this. They give you quick peels so you can remove parts from a bag without any knives or tools. The micro SD. That's a good fit on a brand new Pi. Step 5 will be to do the HDMI adapter. This adapter will simply plug into the ports on the Raspberry Pi 5. You're going to get your battery out of one of your bags here. Now the accessory bag contains little feet. They did a better job on feet this time. The peg riser. Here is some new thermal compounds. Your battery, CR1220. There's a new piece in here we're going to get to in a minute. I don't know what that is, and that's great. Snap your battery backed up clock cell in. The 4-pin header is going to go where the battery 4-pin header is. Top onto this, like so. They're one of the two here. It's going to go into the real-time clock port on the Raspberry Pi 5 header board and the Raspberry Pi 5 itself. PCI Express cable inboard, and we'll just let that flop. Next, we're going to actually mount this inside of this case. Now, we do get an extra ribbon. We get an extra cable here. We're going to need some other screws to put the Pi in. Okay, that's in there tight. We'll tighten this one up too. And then 2 on the outers to hold the SD card in. We'll do that final peg in a second. And our final standoff will go here. That'll hold the NVMe board. There we go. So that's what should be looking like. Not bad at all. Because we're going to be doing our CPU fans. Now please note, when you do these thermal pads, they are covered in plastic on both sides. They do have opposing grabby points, I'll say, for peel. And these are fragile. The little one goes here and the other square one goes here. Clearly outlined in your instructions. Next, we're going to just peel off the top layer of the plastic carefully. Ooh. Okay, plug, I suggest you plug in first. I like my wire short, so my wire moved. That's how the last Pironman5 case was, because that way it's hidden by the board that goes on the GPIO. And this is new. This is an insulation pad, they're calling it. It's a piece of silicone that's clear. That's going to go on the side of the heatsink here, it looks like. It literally goes on the fan itself, or on the heatsink itself. That'll also lock that one clip in place. Another Ziploc bag, but it also comes with a quick release. This piece is going to go on the inside here. Now it's got spring-loaded tabs. That much more fun. Sorry you can't actually see that very well. We align to, you can't even see it, little pegs in here. Okay, now we're to the point where we're ready to install the NVMe header. It's black cable up, twists around and locks in place. This is where those 4 pegs we put in earlier have to go through. There's a 4-pin header underneath that pushes it through, and there's your dual NVMe header now. Again, 2.5 by 4 screws hold the inner case in, so you don't have any more of the plastic rivets. Everything is now screws. These are countersunk, which is nice. They're labeled as SSD1, SSD2. So while I'm waiting on my image to write, we're gonna set this here. We're gonna take the second plate here and we're gonna mount the fans to it. In the first Pironman5, there were felt screens or mesh screens. I guess part of the parts reduction is they are not in this case. Making sure it says ice cube on both sides. 1 fan wire will go up, 1 fan wire will go down. You can coil these if you wish. And at this time, we're gonna pull out the GPIO board, fan 1, fan 2. We'll plug our fans in like so. That'll sit in here eventually like this. This piece, I've noticed that this is the reduction of the piece that was snapped on here to prevent GPIO block. I don't know how they're gonna do that this time. Something that is different this time than the last time is with the metal, I've noticed. On the original Pironman5, there was a lip that we put the power button into. This one, we don't have that. Contortion level stuff here, but black side facing you, slide the screen in, and then click lock it down. So we're gonna take the GPIO and put it in, making sure your LEDs are facing the inside of the fans here. And this is where the coiling of the fan wires would come in helpful. See how they're kind of just hanging out in your way? And it doesn't look as clean. It's just a personal preference. You do you. But we're gonna put these together now. Line up your ports on your 5. The 5 and the 5 Max. The power button was hard mounted and the screen for the SD card would get cable pinched right here. The new one doesn't have that. You're all acrylic. So you don't have to worry about breaking this cable here if you're manhandling it. We're gonna peel our backing off carefully from a corner. These are laser etched way larger, so you can see they're way easier to peel. There she is. Gonna get some fingerprints on that for sure. Sure, our button, which is also opaque black, undo the screw and put that in place. 1 more screw, or 2 more screws in the back bottom here. A 3M tab that does not have a peel. So you're gonna have, for your acrylics, for your LCD screen, you're gonna have to be careful and peel this 3M logo up. There is no peel tab. You get 1 shot at this, maybe 2 if you're really lucky. So it is imperative that you line this up before you press this down with the corners of the unit with the LCD screen just covering it, and peel your final display screen off. This is now going to attach to the power button header inside here. So, pet peeve. That screw doesn't quite have less threads. Do not over tighten these. This is plastic. The LCD is no longer exposed underneath the clear plastic. It is hidden behind the plastic. They're pretty flush. They're not as noticeably stick out as the original Pironman5, but Pironman5 MAX in silver would be great. Also, guys, I do like the change in the feet and the extra jumpers and lots of extra parts you get. As you get down to the headers, see what's happening? You see what's happening there? All those little bits. You're going to have to spend a couple minutes picking all these pieces out. There was a big piece of plastic here shielding any heat from the GPIO and the RGB lights. Also, the diffusion was better because that acrylic lights up also and gives you an extra glaring surface. You can see here I had to clear off all those bits out of those holes also for the GPIO markings. I know it's cost reduction for adding the second NVMe slot. I know that, I get it. This does recess into this line, so make sure you're in it, not over top of it. I'll clean this up afterwards, wipe all the fingerprints down. And the benefit of this is I have now dual NVMEs. Unfortunately, I have to order another 2230, but let's fire this up. Important safety tip. When you have a brand new Raspberry Pi 5, it's only going to boot on USB. So what you need to do is we got to flash an EEPROM. So we're going to press and hold the shift key on a keyboard. There's nothing in there. Now this is going to be the same if you have Raspberry Pi 5 Imager on your desktop. You can do the same thing. So we're going to choose device, Raspberry Pi 5, choose OS. We're going to do utility images, Raspberry Pi 5 bootloader. And we're going to choose NVMe USB boot. And what it tells you is restore the factory settings. Let's see. Boot from the SD card before trying NVMe, then USB. No, I want boot from NVMe before trying USB and then SD. We're just flipping it. Choose storage. I know I'm overkill on this. Next. Yes. It's going to erase the card anyway and write the image. It's going to ask you to remove the card and reboot, which we're not going to do. Now it's going to reboot. Now this is going to boot it and flash a green screen if it's successful. There we go. Green screen, unlike an Amiga, which is below it, broken. We're going to turn the unit off. We're going to remove our cards. We've removed the NVMe card, the whole purpose of this device. And now we're just going to boot Twister off of micro SD. And now you can see everything coming to life. The lights are coming on, the display screen. So here is the Pironman5 software after install. There it is. I had to turn the brightness up on it. It is turning off after a few minutes, which I don't like. That's new. Pironman5 minus config. Set OLED timeout to 0. Doesn't work. Set OLED sleep timeout to 9999. Restart the service. Start Pironman5.service. Rebooting, and then there we go. The OLEDs are back. What do I think about the Pironman5 MAX? Well, I do like the opaque, right? It is cool. I like the dual NVMe slots. I think it's too dark for me. What's the difference? Number one, the branding is humongous on this one. It's down here. I know this also provides an inlet for air, where this one, not so much, nothing. A gap here, a gap here. The metal here that went around, so the front glass would be the letter 7, number 7 basically. With the screen, there was some cost reduction there for the metal so you wouldn't pinch. The screen is no longer visible at all. You have to turn on your timeout using the Pironman5 console command to let the OLED not time out. Okay, I get that, that's fine. The little fiber power button light, the light underneath the SD card, gone. Silver button to black button, totally good with. The rear, this came with mesh screens. This, no mesh screen. On this one, the original Pironman case, there's a large piece of plastic behind the GPIO extension to prevent any ground pins, and it also added a nice reflective surface for the lights. So you can see here there's venting in the back. Both of these images are exactly the same. This is just running on micro SD now while I wait for my card to arrive. And the plastic at the top, to which I'm referring to, gives off a nice lens flare to further light up the case. Okay? The Pironman5 MAX It fingerprints really easy and they show really easy because of course it's a dark case. So you want to keep it clean. It would be great. I like the black case with clear glass. That'd be great too. There's the fans in the back. You can see it's the exact same card, exact same image, except because the smoked glass does make this a lot dimmer. If you're into looking at your insides of your case, you're gonna, you know, have issues, or you're gonna have to adjust your colors to overcompensate and increase your brightness for that. The LCD screen is also hidden from view. You can barely see it on the screen. It is visible in real life. It is just extremely dim compared to the brightness through, of course, clear plexiglass. Final thoughts, I do like them both. I like the dual NVMe. My NVMe 2230 from the Pironman 5 does work in the Max. Everything's fine. I just had to order another one because the spare NVMe SSD that I had was incompatible with apparently the board that's in here. So special thanks to Sunfounder for sending me this Pironman5 MAX. I did purchase this one all on my own. $79, $99. Links for both in the description below. I love the Pironman Sunfounder cases. The dual NVMe SSDs is going to help me out because I can have 2 OSs or 1 OS with a removable or extendable storage for whatever I want. I'm running Twister on both Pi-Mega-5 for my emulation environment, which you guys can run soon. But I do like one feature on both cases. Once you install the software, a feature which is why I have a switch is you can press the power button and it actually turns off. And it turns off the entire thing, not just the green light is stuck on. There's a red light on there and done. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you learned something.
Amazing drive, Chris. Keep the Amiga dream alive. Please consider joining the Patreon.
Yo, it's Big Snoop D.O. Double Gears. When people ask me, do I really know Dr. Chris? To which I say, hell yeah, I know him.
Thanks for checking this out. And as Dr. Chris says, thanks for watching, and we hope you learned something.
Wow, that was great. Please consider helping Dr. Chris.
Dr. Chris, he's the best there ever was. I can tell you that personally, besides me, of course.
What do you know from funny, you bastard?